Hello guys, so after learning functions and arrays, I want us to build a student management system. Now the student management system will have as functionalities, will have the possibility to add students, and will store the value in an array. So the values will be stored in an array. We are also going to be have the possibility of finding students by their ID. So we're going to add students by taking their ID, their name, and their marks. Let's say it's a marks something something. And then also we're going to be doing we're also going to display the student details, and also we should be able to calculate the average. So this is going to be like some kind of good project that cut across basically everything that we've done. So since I'm going to be using names, I'm going to include strings, and also I'm going to include limit. Right, now fine, then using namespace std. So we should be used to these ones now. Now I'm going to declare some constant variable. So I'm going to do let's just say global variables. So I'll do this is going to be constant int, it's going to be like the maximum number of students that we have, let's say 100. Then now I'm going to do int the IDs will be depend on the max student, right? So yeah, it's supposed to be int. Then I'm also going to do int students. I want to be counting the number of students, so I initialize the count to 0. Each time that we add a student, we're going to be able to count it. So now I'm going to do float max, and also is depending on the maximum student that are there. Then I'm going to do string names, which will also be dependent on the number of students that are there. Okay, so these are some of our global variables that we have defined. And then now I'm going to do the function to add student. Then later on we'll do the function to display student. Then we'll do function to find student by ID. Then we'll do function to calculate average. Yes, so we start with this one. So I'm just going to do void add student. Right, so void add students. Now we're going to say that first we check if the student count, right? So if the student count is less than the maximum number of students that can be there, then we go ahead and add the student. Else we're going to say that else we're going to say that cout the list is full, right? So we can't add students anymore, right? So now in order for us to be able to add students, we're just going to do cin. We'll ask the person to enter your ID or name. Let's start with name in semicolon cin names. Now since it's we want to be counting the students, we're going to do student count to be like the first student that we are entering, right? So basically I'm going to do the same thing for the ID and also so I'm going to say enter your your ID, right? Enter student ID, right? So let me say student name, enter student ID. So this will be IDs, and enter marks, student marks, and this will be mask, marks, right? So this will be marks, right? This is how we're going to collect all the values, right? So once we collect the values like this, what we do is, now I'm just going to do student count plus plus, right, to increment, and then we'll say C out student added successfully end line, right? So basically this adds a new student, right? And if it doesn't work, we tell the person that if it doesn't work, we'll say that our list is full. Like if this is greater than, then we'll say that our list is full. Now let me just go to the menu, and we're going to do this at the point of the menu. We're going to have int choice, right? We'll declare choice, and then we'll do something. We'll use a do while loop there, where I'm going to do C out, and this I'm going to say student management system. So, and I'll do C out again, \n, then I do C out, blah, end line. Then now I'll do something like this, C out. So I just want you to get a look and feel of how the program is going to be. So I'm going to like 1, or here I'm going to say that again, for the person to enter a choice between 1 and 5. Enter a number, right, or choice whether between 1 and 5. So this will be add student, right? We have \n there, or we have end line, right? So this is what we'll do, and this will be 2 display student, 3 find student by ID, and 4 calculate average. So calculate average, class average. 5 there will be exit, right? So 5 here will be exit program. Now we're going to do this while choice is not equals to 5. I think that is what we want to do while loop. Now let me just try to see what I'm doing here. So this is supposed to run or build with errors. Now I think we are not allowing the person to enter his choice, so I think we have to allow the person to enter his choice. Let me see. It says that local variable choice in 16, on initialize local variable choice in 16. So I'm doing in the main int main choice. So do this and okay. So now I'm going to ask the person to enter his choice, right? So the person will enter the choice now here. So I'll do see out and ask you enter your choice, right? And I do see in choice. And now let me just have here return 0. Now depending on the choice, now I'm going to like put conditional statements here, conditional statements, like if the choice of the person is double equals to 1, then what do we want to do? We want to call the add student method function. Yes, that's what we want to do. Else we do this, else we do this. So else we're just going to do the other cases. So I just, okay, fine. So it asks me to enter 1. So if I enter 1, right, it tells me to enter the student's name. So let me just put Constantine and 2, Max 23. Student added successfully. So but if I select 2 now, 2 does not exist, right? It just depends. So I select 5, right? Exit the program. Okay, so now I have to make the other cases like else if choice is double equals to 2, right? So if choice is equals to 2, what you have to do is you're going to display student, which we have not created. Else if choice is double equals to 3, then you're going to find student, which has not been created also. Else another thing is that we would have used a switch case double equals to 4. You're going to do what? Calculate average, which we have not done. Else if choice is double equals to 5, what we're going to do is we're going to see out exiting program. Else see out invalid choice. Palam pam pam. Voila. So now what we have to do is we just need to come back here and do this function void display student, and we do void find student. So, and here I also do void calculate average, right? And then now we need to be able to code the functions. So to display a student, we're going to check if the student count is not 0, right? If student count is equals to 0, it means that there's no student there, right? So we're just going to print out here that no student to display, right? And we end line, then we return else else we're going to do cout, and we do student list. So the list now of students. So I'm going to do n line cout. Then I can put this, and I do n line also. Then now I do cout the ID. The ID will be IDs of. Oh, I need to be able to do a for loop for int I is equals to 0, I less than student count, I plus plus. Then now this is why I needed it, because I was already getting like what is happening. Where am I going to get my I, right? So that will be like the ID, right? And then now I'm going to have the name, and I'm going to do names I. Then I'm going to have the max at I. Then I'm going to end line. So this displays me the student, right? So if there are many students, I just want to display like that and put lines under it. So this should be able to display the student, right? And now we look at define a student. How do we find a student? I'm going to define a certain search ID that we want to use, and after do that, I'll ask you to enter the ID of the student, right? So once you enter the ID, I'm going to use cin and get the search ID. Then I'm going to do an if statement to say that if the search ID is double equals to the ID of what we're looking for, let me see. Okay, for I, int I equals to 0, I less than the student count, right? I plus plus. So we want to be able to search through all of that, and we're going to say that if the search ID is double equals to an ID that is found in an I position, alright, so search ID with capital D, if it's found somewhere, so we're going to say cout student was found. So the only thing that we can do is to reveal the name of the student, to show that we see the student, we have seen the student. So name of the student at I position. We're using names with S, so I'll go with S. N line. And then when we do that, we return. I think this program is getting too long, right? So else we just say that student is not found, right? So else cout student not found, right? So we have not seen the student, right? So we tell them that the student has not been found. So I think this is the last part that is remaining to calculate the average, right? So I'm going to do this, and so we're going to say like if the student count is 0, right? Student count is 0, then there's nothing to calculate, right? So we're just going to do C out, no student in the system, right? So definitely if there's no student in the system, there's nothing to calculate, so we just return, then we stop. But now if there is, so we're going to do float total mass max, we initialize it to 0. Then now we want to loop through for I equals to 0, I less than the student count, I less than student count, I plus plus. So we do I plus plus, then the total max here we just do plus equals to max of I, so the max of I, so we just add it, and once we do that, we should be able to have the total at the end of the day. So let me put int I here, int I. Do I do the same thing up there? Did I do the same thing? Okay, no, it's fine. So this simply gives me the total is that, and now I need to be able to, after that I have my total, so I'm going to do C out, and I just do average max of class will be, we're going to take the total max divided by the student count, end line. So I need to put blah blah here. Okay, let me put this one like this. Yes. All right, so let's try to run the program. I just hope that it runs without errors. This is a very long program, and okay, so select one. So I'm going to add a student. Name is Max, ID is 1, Max is 24. I select 1 again. I enter Joe, ID is 3, Max is 26. Now I enter 1 again to enter a new person. I enter Mary, Mary is 29, and the max is 20. So now let's do 2, right, to display the student. So this is it, that it displays the students here, and then it shows me the menu again. And now I want to find a student, right? Let's go to option 3 to find a student. So let me put 29. So it tells me that the student found, and the name of the student is Mary, so it displays me the system again. If I want to calculate the average, right, so it calculates the average to be 23, and it shows me that again. So if I press 5, voila, my exiting program, and the program exits, right? So that is it, and we are done. So it's a lengthy program. I think I'm going to drop the source code